Jack Osborne, and you're listening. This is Mr. Hello, and you're listening to...
I'm Richard C. Hoagland, and you're listening to... I'm Art Bell, and you're listening to Dr. J Radio Live.
All right, welcome back to the obviously international, coming from 43, and today making it our 44th country joining in, which proves that this is a show for you, the people. Now, I have to say and use PG language sometimes when I want to use PG-13, or I guess depending on what community you consider our language. The point is, I have to do that for FCC because some of you are listening to this via FM or AM, so FCC controls those for the moment. And of course, you can catch this show on multiple streams like iTunes, Shoutcast, TuneIn.com, not to mention, of course, we are syndicated with PSN Radio, late night in the Midlands. And thanks to my co-host, Johnny Webb, who I'm going to introduce properly in just a moment, we have a deprogrammed radio network, not to mention the newest one, Pulse Talk Radio Network. I want to give them a quick shout out, and a biggest shout out to you folks on YouTube catching this as an MP4 now too. So that happens to be on our very own Coast to Coast PM radio network, which you will see soon other shows such as Sean David Morton, Navy SEAL Lieutenant Bob Wiegand has a show coming up. Not to mention David Sharita, and I don't know if I should announce this, but I'm trying to get Linda Moulton-Howe. So just keep up for that. But in the meantime, check out the last interview which we have with her, and there's a different version that you guys didn't hear, thanks to Johnny Webb. Now, let me get to where my broadcasting out of. As I said, we are an international show, taking your questions live during the show, and the last time this guest has been on, which you could see, of course, of all the information on drjradiolive.com. That is drjradiolive.com, not to mention every single social media outlet you could think of. This particular guest, when he was on, there was somebody where literally he predicted or felt that person. She said, originally what happened is she wrote in and said that she just saw this guest, and it was 17 minutes into the show. Then, all of a sudden, she said that she was able to, or that she just saw him. Then we seem to have lost him for a second, and then he says he's getting something, getting information, and we said it live on air, and MP4 too. And of course, this is the stuff. The woman said, I'm so shocked, I'm emotionally hurt, something like that, or not hurt, I'm so emotional, I need to go now. But then she came back within 15 minutes and confirms pretty much every single thing our guest said, down to the details of what he died from, which was, I believe, kidney failure, and that he was a shoemaker, and even his name was off by one letter. One letter, folks. So that is truly a really cool thing. Not to mention, strange things happen with this guest, such as he could be in one place and be seen in another, or people show up in photographs with him, which we encourage you to see on his website, which we'll get to that in a minute. Now, first, I'm in the city of Angels. That's right, that is Los Angeles. Right, some people say Los Angeles, Mexico, but at the moment, it still is Los Angeles, California, the United States of America, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. for those folks on the Eastern Front, and where my co-host is, 3:07 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So, good morning, or good evening, folks, to, I guess, in the Americas and west of us, or that doesn't add up because there's the dateline, minus some of those places like, I don't know, Marshall Islands. But Johnny Webb, good morning to you and good evening to those on the East Coast. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Dr. J. Good morning from the future, from where we are.
That's right. You are absolutely in the future for me at this moment. So,
but it's funny, Dr. J, because our next guest is actually in the future from where I am.
I was just going to say that. He is 1 hour ahead of you, and I don't know what time zone this would be, that's the first question. So, that's what I'm going to do, Johnny Webb. Now it's time. I've given you enough time, folks, to go to drjradiolive.com to see everything there is to know about this guest, plus everything from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Flickr, Tumblr, Slack, whatever. You see it, and you know exactly who I'm introducing, which is the one and only Robbert Vandenbroek.
Yes, thank you that I be your guest on your live show, Dr. G Live, and I appreciate it very much that I be your guest again, and I hope that we can make an interesting program.
It was ironic how you came about. First of all, Johnny Webb, my co-host, suggested you as a guest, and I said, yeah, that'd be a perfect guy. But then, somebody who'd been trying to get, some other people were pushing for in the show, not Robbert. I'm going to ask you first, where can people see your stuff?
Yeah, thank you. I can make a little introduction from it. I have a website that's www.robertvandenbroek with double B, Vandenbroek, and then .com. People can see there all the pictures, all the crop circles from last year, but also from years before. And people can also press on the button contact when they have maybe experienced something or they have some questions. They can make contact through the email. I have also 2 Facebook pages. One Facebook page, you must be a friend of it, from it. And other Facebook page, it's a global Facebook page, and people can watch and can see all the news and all the apparitions, the latest apparitions that was going on, and the latest crop circles or lectures or seminars, or what it is. Yeah.
Tell us about your past. Tell us about your upbringing and how did you become like this?
Yeah, I was born in a normal way in a little village that's called Hoeven, and it's in the Netherlands. And I was remember me as a child that I was see all the time spirits, and I was think that everybody was see that. I was see sometimes transparent figures around people, but I was also knowing what people was thinking. I was also many times see light around people. I was feel the pain from people, and it was very frustrating for me that everybody was saying no, that is not possible. And then I was going in the psychiatric world with my parents, and they was thinking that something was wrong in my brain. And then I was go to a psychiatric child institute, and they was doing lots of observations to me, and my parents was not say when they was going there, but I was feel all the time exactly the time when he was helping me, and my parents was saying after it, yes, that's right, then we was there, and I was get a sort of telepathic contact with him in a distance, and then he was tell my parents that I was gifted and that I have a job to help people with it, but that he was close my gifts for a short time, that I can come in a normal human shape, that when I'm older I can help people with it. And then I was, I think so, 14, 15 years, and then I was going in to be a puber, to normal kid. And then in the psychiatric institute they will say it look like that it is going, everything is going to go better with Robbert. Knowing that my parents was coming by Rens Hendricks and that he was helping me in this way. What are you saying?
I was still asking about your past, when you discovered for the first time you had some sort of psychic power. And while you're talking about that, tell us what the first weird event that occurred in your life that you questioned before you realized, okay, you have a gift or something, you know. Have you ever considered even that you may be upgraded from human or come from another planet or are literally our next generation human beings evolved?
Yeah, I feel that I come from another dimension, another dimension, and also from other planets.
But still, does that actually give you a sense of, you know, knowing that all your life and having memories of that old dimension or your previous?
Yeah, I feel that I come from another dimension.
So let's talk about
dimension,
this life that you've had.
Also
when was how old were you? And tell us the circumstances surrounding you, the first event that questioned you. Not that you realized, okay, it's going to continue to happen, but when something weird happened that you thought was like, oh, whoa, that's weird. I can't believe I just saw that or experienced that. And
No,
you didn't see a pattern yet.
Yes, I was. What I remember myself is that I was 3.
Okay.
And then I was seeing black figures with no face.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
Regularly, like during the daytime and nighttime?
Yes, most all the time when my parents was bringing me to bed. Yeah, that was very strange. I remember that my parents was bringing me to bed. What I remember myself when they was downstairs, I was 3 black figures. And they was look like dolls, almost. They was having no eyes, no mouth, no nose. I realized later that they was there for real, and I was given a name to make my parents understand. But then when I was 3, I remember then I was see them. Yes, yeah. That's a very interesting event. I was, I think, 6 years old, and or 6 years old, maybe a little bit younger. And I was playing outside with other kids, and I remember me that my neighbor woman was give me some little toy, some little doll, and I was very happy with it. And after it, I was hearing a sort of strange noise, and it was a very high noise, like. And then I was watching upstairs. I was watching in the sky, and there was a very big white disc in the air. And the other children, they will see it also. Yeah, that was so special. And also, I was yelling, look, a spaceship, a spaceship. And the doors from the houses was going open. I see it now in my memory again. And I will see the father from a friend of me was sitting and pointing to the UFO that was hanging there. And I think that maybe 5, 6 people will see it on that moment. And the UFO was coming lower, and it was, I think, so big as a very big Boeing, a very big jumbo jet. It was a very wide UFO. And I was feel that in the disc there was creatures in the disc, sitting in the disc, that was knowing me. I was feeling they.
You're saying that they already knew you of you?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yes. I was feel it. I was know it. I was getting instantly knowing that they know me. And that was very strange, and I was know immediately that they know me. It was feels very medical in some way, as if they was doctors, but I was feel they watching in my soul, and it was feel very trustful. And later now I realized that they took a look from, yes, that's that kid where we will work later in the future. We will work with him. But it was very impressing, and the other children and also the grown-ups, the parents, will see it. Yes, and that's very interesting. And later more and more witnesses are coming and have seen these extraterrestrials around me. Some of them, they are look like humans, look like us. Nordic, yes, Nordics, the blonde, tall, humanoid creatures. But you have also the famous greys. You have also sort of, you have so many races. I have seen so many creatures. I have also get many creatures on the picture. I'm so thankful for it. I thank God so strong that it really is happening, and that I can prepare people for the contact with extraterrestrials. But they are in so many different forms. You have some tall creatures, you have little creatures, you have also green creatures, you have gray creatures. It's really almost a rainbow of lots of races and unique creativity from the source that you see in so many creatures. You can see it also on my website, but I have seen sometimes I have seen very tall creatures, very big, dus almost 4 meter long, very tall, very big heads. Almost the head was so big as a cow. I remember me that I have seen lots of.
Wait, like as big as a cow?
Yes, the head was so big as a cow. Yes.
You're kidding me. Hold on. Talk about that species in particular. Describe to us, how tall was this being?
This being was almost 4 meter long. It was very tall.
So 12 feet, and you're saying the head was exactly. Literally the size of a cow.
Yes.
Wow. What were the facial features like? Is there no 2 eyes and a mouth, or?
I will see one big eye.
Like a cyclops.
Yes.
And you said, when you say big, can you tell us size-wise how big this one-eyed cyclops was?
No, I remember me that the moon, the silvery light from the moon was shining on the creature. And then I was see the eye, and I remember me that the eye was so big as a cow eye, very big. Wow. It was very impressive. It was a couple of years ago, begin 2000, and I think 2006 that it was.
Let me tell you this. Obviously we have a U.S. military man who's come forward, that is Clifford Stone, and said that the United States, by the time he left in 1988, had cataloged, I believe it was between 56 and 66. Anywhere in the number. I don't want to be wrong here, folks. I want, everything to be facts. Obviously, when we make opinions, we say opinions. But, so, actually, let's go back to this first experience. Can you go back to the first beings? I know you gave the description, but let's give them a full, a more better description so people can actually paint a picture in their head, because
the first time when I was see a creature, an extraterrestrial, I think that I was
the black one, right? The black face one.
Oh, the black faces. Then I was 3. Yes, I was 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So then the next
young.
Creature, the human ones. The human ones you saw at what age?
Then I was older. That was in my 20 years.
Okay. So then when was the next being after the black face, which was at 3?
Then I was see more an interdimensional creature. That was when the crop circles was starting. It was in 1996, and then I was see. Then I was 16, very young.
Okay. So that would make you 37, right? 36 right now, or 37.
36, yes, very good.
Okay, but you're going to be 37 soon.
Yes, that in 1996. Then I was first coming in connection with the crop circles. I was get a very restless feeling, and I was going to the nature place where my instantly knowing was sucked me to that nature place, and then my intention was sucked to the left, and then I was see a light ball that was going behind the dike, and I was hearing a sort of noise, what you're hearing also when you make French fries. You're hearing a sort of electrostatic noise. And then I was going with my bike on the dike, and the light ball was disappear, but there was 4 perfect circles in the field. And then I was so happy, so happy that the isolated feeling that I was having for years, that I was only see things, that now something was in the field that other people can also see. And then I was telling my parents, and I was making pictures from it, and we was healed still. He was not tell it to other people. But after it, almost, I think a couple of 3 months after it, I was get the same restless feeling, and I was go to the same field, and I was see again, I think 5 light bulbs above the field. And there was created a circle in that specific field, and it was so impressing for me. So was making me so happy. Also the feeling that I was have when I was standing in that circle was almost of, I was feel angels around me. I was feel so happy, almost a near-death experience. It was so, I was not thinking more. It was a feeling from an existence. In a state of existence, from happiness, from love, from sweetness. I was experiencing God very strong, or the source, or the light, if you will call it. And after this experience, I was get an apparition from a lady, sort of guide, an extraterrestrial guide. She was calling herself a cosmic angel, and she was giving the name Doya. And she was totally in white light, very beautiful. All my sleep room was filled with white light. And she was saying that this is the begin of much more. And then later I was getting experience that she was took me in a light ball to some, I think, other dimension, in a sort of tunnel with rainbow colors, and it was look like I was see crystal structures from snowflakes. And then I was coming in some other place from the material universe, this universe, and then I was visit another planet that was look like very similar as us planet Earth, with clouds and with an atmosphere. It was not so blue but more pink. And I was seeing lots of pyramids on the ground, and when we was going through the atmosphere with Doya, I was seeing...
You saw pyramids on the ground, and you're talking about somewhere else? Or where
yes,
another planet, and another solar system, other galaxy. Would you say it was this galaxy, or even intergalactic?
No, it was, for it was another galaxy. Yeah, that is almost unbelievable.
Wow! And they too had pyramids, which means that geometric shape of pyramid
is collective. It's
something super important to
all
of humanity.
You understand it exactly. That's true. That was exactly the same impression what I was having when I was see it. I was thinking, whoa, this is the pyramids is a cosmic collective form, and when it is on another planet, it's very important. Well, we know it also on the Earth. Is this something that is coming from a higher source? That I was exactly having the same impression. But it was very emotional when I thinking again on the visit on the planet. I can be very emotional. And there was living also a sort of human type of forms. I was not see them, but I was know it in my instinct. And they was sitting on a higher consciousness. They was do the same wrong things in the past as us, but they are now in an adult process that they have lost the chauvinistic discrimination and aggression ego and jealousy, and that have give them the right to come closer to the source and also to travel through time and space. And this is also the plan for this earth, to make us also part of the big universal family. And it was so emotional when I was there. Sometimes I hope that when it is for a couple of seconds, it's also good for me that I can experience it again. It's so, yeah, amazing. It's almost if you meet heaven. It was also almost, yeah, if I was walking in a sort of fairy tale book. It was so beautiful. So the nature was so beautiful, and everybody was happy when somebody else was happy. People was not living only for themselves. And there was also animals. I was seeing very big bird that was almost so big. It's unbelievable, so big as an jumbo jet airplane with big wings. I was a little bit afraid, but Doya was saying, don't be afraid, it's okay. It was a sort of eagle that I was seeing, but yeah, the nature was there much bigger. Dus it's very impressing, and I was get also the message that the pyramidal form, dus the pyramid form, is very important. It's also good that people build pyramid forms in the same way that from the pyramid from Cheops in Egypt above the oceans on big poles, and then the energy will canalize going in the water, and the earth will come on a higher frequency. And I must understand that when water have memory, water, you can code it water. Also, Dr. Emoto have proved that.
Can you actually talk more about that planet? What was it like? What did homes look like? What did devices look like? And I'm assuming everybody was telepathic with each other?
Yes, exactly. They was having more an instantly knowing and a sort of collective consciousness. They was not thinking too much. They was well thinking, but they was feeling more. But when they was thinking, they was not misuse the mind. On this earth, we misuse many times the mind, and I mean to make weapons and that sort of things, and to kill animals and kill humans. But they have learned to not misuse the mind, just use the mind in a balance with the intuition, and it was so beautiful to see that. What was impressed me a lot was a very. We have here some country also on this planet where it is all the time for long periods dark, and it's not light there. It's then for months it is dark there, all the time dark, dark, dark. And there's no sun shining. I don't remember exactly where it was, but we have some place on the earth where it is for a long time dark all the time, and that makes can create lots of depressions. On that planet there was the same situation was happening there, and there was found a solution for it to build a very big mirror that reflected the sun, and then there was also light in that country there, that there was not sitting in a dark period. And that was very smart. It was very impressive for me to see that. I was not see so many homes, but I was very short there. Dus I was see more the pyramid, some place, more a sort of desert place, what I see, but also a place with hills, rocky hills, and some places I was feel, yeah, that is some nature place that they let it's a nature place. They don't destroy it, buildings and that sort of things. But I'm sure that they have homes. But I was also get some feeling that many homes was in the ground, dus that it is not on the planet, but in the planet, and that was also very important. And I have got two experience on two different planets. That this is one experience, and when you translate this planet in a word, in way, this how you will call it on this earth, this planet, then you get something like Bovisa. But it's not exactly the name, but it's look like the name what I was get, that is the name from that planet. And also in Alpha Centauri B, I was visit one exoplanet, and there is life. There is really life. It's not a high civilization. It's they are human types. They are a little bit more little as us, but they are now in the Renaissance period, a sort of Middle Eastern period. They have no technological things, and we are in the future the UFOs from them. They will see UFOs, but we are then the visitors from that planet there when the technological things are so far. Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Were you ever taken to a planet that had Homo sapiens? Because obviously, if we've had Homo sapiens that look like us, I mean, down to the eyes, hair, nails, you name it, even bodily parts, genitals, then clearly the Homo sapiens are also living on other planets. So, were you ever taken by an advanced species to a planet to observe a less advanced version of us?
Yes, they are there. They look a little bit different, but they are same versions. Yes, they are there. But there are also versions that there was having a dinosaurs period, and there was a mix of a two-legged creature with a brain like us humans, or sometimes a bigger brain, but then with cold blood reptilian you have it also, but you have also the ape type, later more human type like us, that evolution way. But also extraterrestrials have also bring some creatures to this earth. Dus they have helped us also to bring some creatures here. Very, very long time ago, and that's absolutely true. They have helped the God realization also on this planet. Yeah.
That's insane. So, how many did you see, and were they what we traditionally would call caveman?
Yes. You have also creatures. I have also seen a sort of bird creature that was very strange.
Tell us about that.
That's very impressive. It was a very intelligent creature with feathers, and it was big, and it was white, gray, looked like an eagle, but with feet, look like us feet, but you will see almost like a frog or something. I cannot, it's not a good word, I cannot find the good words, but they that was a very intelligent creature, but they was not communicate with words. They was only do beep 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 beep, and that was only the noise, but they communicate telepathic with each other, but they was making noise from out the straw. And they are really existed. I was see also one crop circle. I was found one crop circle, and was feel that same creature was a sort of waiter, a sort of guide that was protect the formation there. That was there, and it was exactly the same bird type creature, but it shows that so many that also intelligent two-legged creatures can be also bird type, and that's so impressive. It's almost I can understand that it is for some people too much, that it is too much. That when they see that this one time I was giving a talk on a conference, and there was coming a woman from Russia to me, and she was telling me that she was coming on a base. She was having a friend that was working on a military base, and she was coming there, and she was see this secretly bird type of creatures, and she was shocked she was see aliens and then bird type, and they was making this sort of noise. And when this woman was telling me this, I was thinking, she will intention, she will be, sounds important. But later I was feel that it was true what she was saying, that she was really seated. There's also some military people have met them. I was know that she was tell the truth. Also her daughter was there, and she was tell it also that it was absolutely true. There are so many consciousness forms in the universe, interdimensional, intergalactic. There is so many things, and for people they don't know something from extraterrestrials is a complete Muppet show. They think, no, that's not possible. But I have learned to not just people with extremely stories. I've experienced now so many things that have make from me a very deep believer. Yes, absolutely. Some of the planets, they have some systems that that look like money as us. They have some principles to get not fights and get not and they have also some justice, some sort of police. Many are sort of the same, have the same species as us. They was having also primitive times that they was fighting, and they are still planets. They are very primitive. They fight, they have wars. Absolutely, it's not only this Earth. There are more planets, and there are also. I've also see. I was visit a planet in Alpha Centauri B, and that was a planet that was look like exactly the Earth, but they are in the Renaissance time. They are in the time.
Okay, so that's right. They were alive, and the only means to kill, for the most part, they didn't even discover things such as
exactly
gunfire.
Yes,
gunpowder, and they
yes, exactly.
Swords,
and there was
battles like that. Okay.
And they was look like they look like
the Homo sapien species that has this problem.
No, it's more. It's ego exists on more planets. Yes, I can guarantee you. Yes, absolutely. It's a very famous problem, but I have seen in the evolution from other planets that the creatures can come over it, and it's also the plan with this Earth. There is no other way. I think so. It's almost a nature law that we must go to the darkness, to the light. There is no other way on this planet, and also on other planets. Most, all the time not. I cannot say all the planets. I'm not God, but in many planets it's the way. And we can experience on this planet also sometimes, cruel things. One of the big lessons on this planet is, I think, acceptation from the situation, and that we cannot get all the time what we want. And it's terrible sometimes. It's terrible, but there is no other way. And it's a sort of nature law that we grow to the light. And in the cruel situations like war or pain, we can understand how important love is. That we must be sweet for each other. And the goodness have all the time future. All these thousands of years war on this planet have destroyed so many and have thrown so many colors out of this planet, out of association. And the leaders, the war leaders, never ever was winning. All the time it was again losing. It was all the time the negativity is destroy himself all the time, and love have a future. But we must learn that, and that's the question: how and why. We cannot get answer on it, not on this moment. That's some secret domain from the source or from God. But it is difficult sometimes. I fight also as a human, also as a medium, but also as a human with it. I'm not happy all the time. Sometimes I think I stop with my gifts. It's too much. But most all the time I get then a sort of light around me from peace and sweetness, and then I know, remember me why I am on this planet. But it's sometimes very difficult. It asks a lot of patience. Yeah. On Alpha Centauri, on the planet around Alpha Centauri star, I have seen that there was having houses, but there was made from, what you see sometimes in more the older version from houses in Turkey and in Egypt. It was more sort of rocky houses, not specific have a form. Some houses was like or look like a sort of little hill with holes in it. But there was also animals there. There was also hunting, and there was look very similar. You was having a very specific man type and very specific woman type. So she was, and what I was also see was that there was having some primitive clothes from skin from animals. There's a little bit the same as what we was having here. There was having also some birds, and there was used the birds to hunting. There was have them on a rope, and the birds they was let them fly, and there was hunting, maybe some little animals that you was there, maybe rabbit-like animals, that sort of things.
Rabbit-like animals, really?
Yes, you was having also animals there. I think lots of animals, the same bacterials was create there also this sort of forms. And you was having also a sort of streets there, but then very, hill-like, going down, going up, very small. And I was also see that it was very strange when the woman was pregnant on that planet. Other women was having not the permission to watch with the eyes to this woman. This woman, and it's very cruel in some way, but this woman must stay in the house to the moment that the child is coming. And they believe when another woman watch to a woman that is pregnant, that the child will die, that maybe the jealousy from a woman that maybe cannot get a child, that it will suck bad spirits and will kill the child. It's some sort of religion there. It's absolutely not true, but they believe it. And he was having also different religions there. And it's very strange that that religion part is in the human type of creatures, something very fundamentalistic I will see there. And I can swear on my life, when we can send to this star an observator, we will discover religion there. It's absolutely and then not we true. Are the UFOs from the people there. I'm sure about
exactly, because we're visiting them. So let me ask you this. Describe the diversity of intelligent species on those planets.
Yeah, you have a lots of intelligent life. I was also get a message that's a couple of months ago, longer ago, almost a year, I think so. But it was a message from Eisenhower, that famous Eisenhower, that he have now a lot of context with extraterrestrials in the afterlife. And I was get the message that I cannot speak total the words, but it's the star, they call it key EC. It's kick, you call it kick, and then with a couple of numbers behind it. The people, they have interest in astronomy, they know where I'm talking about now, I think so. And that is a star, and lots of astronomic professors have big trouble with it. It's a star where, and they see through the telescopes now very strange shadows going around this star. And more astronomic researchers think that theoretic it's good possible that there is a big building around that sun that's made by aliens, and serious researchers, not conspiracy researchers only, but very serious astronomical people cannot give a normal explanation from dust clouds or rock clouds. It's very strange for them. They think, yeah, that it may be possible that there is a civilization that have built some very diceable big thing around the sun, a very high civilization. I always get the message very strong through my mediumship that there is life there. It's exactly what they think. Some of them think it's a very high civilized species of what we call alien, but very big, so big that they can build very big things. We have now here the 3D printer, but they have maybe something with thousands of years further than us, and technologic and everything. This is very interesting. I was get a very high civilization there, but you have so many planets where life is. It's amazing. You have planets also where life forms are that we cannot imagine it. They are planets where creatures living only from light. They don't eat. They're living from the light. They're living from the prana. Sounds romantic, but it is true. You have some planets. Yes, they have the same. They have a sort of body, like us maybe, or maybe total different, but they live the same as a plant on the bioenergy, on the light, and that's very. I don't understand how it is possible, but scientists must also prepare, I think so, in the future, that they must think out of the box. There are so many different things, different creatures in the universe. It's amazing when you make a study from it. It's too much to tell this now in this 2 hours, but it's very big. Also in our solar system there is life, but you cannot see it. There are planets where astral life is. The planet Venus is also a planet you cannot live physical there. It's it's too heat, but you have astral life there. You have creatures there. You have worlds around that planet, a sort of astral world, and it's a total world where also human types of people live. It's it's so beautiful. And also the moon, the moon from this planet, is a sort of satellite that canalizes lots of extraterrestrial energies. Also many extraterrestrials, they must first going to the etheric creatures. They have a base on the moon, then they get permission to come to this earth. It sounds very strange, but the moon have also some sort of function like an wormhole. Like it's so big. It's so, when you will make study from it, I think that one life is not enough to coming out it. It's too big. It's too heavy. It's too it's so.
Did you see the diversity of life on these planets, and can you talk about some of these maps of both stars and planets?
Exactly. I have got some. I got the last times. It's very interesting that you ask this. This is now for a short time happening that I get information. I get maps from some stars, star constellations where life is, but I have not got the permission to publish it already now. I must first get more information, and then I will make it absolutely publicly. But I cannot do this now. It's very young. It's starting a short time ago, and this is the first time that I get a sort of maps. Before not, but now I get a sort of maps. Dus I will be very careful and also let check it by scientists and astronomic people. And then I'm very interesting what's coming out it, but also very interesting when they take it serious and they will scanning, with SETI projects or with the radio telescopes, or they can hear something there. Then they know where they must look. This is very interesting. This I cannot tell now about it, but I promise, when I have all the information and I got the permission to share it, then I do it. I do it with everything. It's not a secret, but it's now still growing, and I must get the permission to show it, that I have everything complete. It's a sort of puzzle, and then I can share it, and I will do that also. I'm very interesting in it, what will coming out. It's very interesting, and also with Betty Hill, that was so interesting. No, I think very simple on the website, on Facebook.
It's the same thing. Real quick, I see something from Johnny, but I can't access it. Johnny, did you have a question?
Yeah, I've got a few questions here that sort of built up. Okay,
so
yeah, Robert,
let
good
Johnny
evening.
ask the questions.
Yes, good evening, John. Nice to hear you.
Likewise, sir, likewise. Well, a couple of questions internationally have come through on the Facebook. One of them's from Simon on Facebook, and he's from Cologne in Germany. He asks, in your photos, you've shared and taken and have connected with well-known departed people like Neil Armstrong, like Eisenhower. And he says, have you ever had any of their families contact you about the images you've captured, and possibly to compare the photos of their families that you've had of no way of seeing or knowing?
Yes, some of them, but not all. Dus not with Neil Armstrong. I have not contact with the family, but he was a public figure, and he was willing very strong that he was coming on the picture. I can only do what I feel that I must do, and share it with the people. But some of them I have contact with the family members most all the time. I like more that I have contact with the family members, but it's more important that they know it also. And maybe when I have contact with the family members, maybe there will come in also more details, personal details for them, and that's very important. I will never ever hurt the feelings from relatives that stay on the earth. When family members say, I don't like it, that you publicated the picture, then I will not do it. Absolutely not, and I will not hurt the feelings from family members. But when some public figures that mean some real something, this was have some symbolic function, some extra large function, then sometimes they will come through the mediumship. They will say something. That's true.
Dave in Birmingham in England on Facebook, he says, can you talk with them, meaning I think the aliens? And he says, what is your feelings when you're sharing and showing others your gift? Is this a form of disclosure from the higher dimensional beings to us with your work? Is there a pleasing from them aliens to you?
Yes, it's a sort of disclosure, but it's also the psychologic consciousness behind it. It's they will also, what's very important is that the power and the light that's coming through me is coming, and also all the apparitions also from creatures is coming from the source above all the star constellations, all the Milky Ways, and all the physical universe. It's some people call it God or the light or the collective consciousness. It's coming from out there, and that's only love. When you connect with that pure nature, then you have all the time protection, and then you will get also contact with good creatures, with creatures, like the creatures that coming on this planet. The most creatures have got the right to travel to time and space, to prepare us to the God consciousness, to the spiritual consciousness, and to bring us on a higher psychological level, spiritual and also physical, that us planet have also more future, that we will not destroy it. And when the bosses from the earth, the leaders, can let flow the ego and will be open for contact and accept that they are knowing more and they can help us, they will not took things over. Yeah, then they will come. But then there's also no panic. Now they show themselves on little groups, sometimes on big groups, but most of the time little. But in the future, it's the plan is, the agenda from the extraterrestrials is, in now and 20 years, is to have contact, that it is global, well known that extraterrestrials exist and that they can visit us and that we can learn from them lots of things, technologic, medical, spiritual, psychological, lots of things. They bring presents for us.
Now, also, we know that you don't just deal with aliens and crop circles and photographs. You're actually a medium, and you help people out. Yeah. And the last time you were on in Nancy, I think that was back in October. Yeah. Been very busy since then, and I know you've been working out on a case, very strange case out in Belgium. And I wondered if you could share that with us in the last sort of half an hour that we've got.
Okay. I will do that. Yeah, that's a very interesting experience. It was on a Sunday, 6 November. And a lady was asking me, I will come to Belgium. And there was a farmer, he was having lots of trouble with a sort of demons. He was see apparitions. And many cows was dying. Dus echt... maybe hundreds of cows was dying, maybe more, but in 8 years, hundreds of cows was dying, and it was so terrible for him. For a farmer, it's terrible that hundreds of cows was dying, and also the animal doctor found nothing. It was unexplained.
It's interesting you talk about this, Robert, because, I think just a few months back, I think it was in Iceland, there was a lightning strike and it supposedly killed lots and lots of reindeer, and there was lots of pictures. But some of those look quite decapitated. But is it possible, you think, that there could have been a lightning strike that could have killed these animals? What's your personal thoughts?
Yeah, that I know that theory, that when they're standing on the roasters or when they're standing on that floor, then it is possible that they can be killed by lightning. But this was something else. It was through the 8 years. Dus it was some of them, they were starting to be sick. The animal doctor was found nothing. Some of them, they was falling dead on the ground. Here it was in his farm. They was falling dead. They was standing in it, and he was see also, the farmer was see also light bulbs going in the cows. There's a sort of red balls of light that was going in the cows, and after that they was dying. And
were these balls of light, were they like an orb or a sort of ball lightning? Can you describe those a bit more?
A sort of ball of light. Yes, but then totally red. And sometimes you will see that it was going in the head from the cow. Sometimes you will see that it was going in the mouth from the cow. And it was so he was so hopeless and so afraid. He was also see on his bed apparitions when he was sleeping or going to sleep. And then he have asked a friend of him was asked, or I will coming. And I was feeling immediately, I must do that. I can do something. And I know that the source of light is all the time stronger than the negativity. And then I was go to there, and when I was walking there by the cows, I was feel a lot of negative attacking to me. I was also make a picture for myself, and you see also a sort of orange, red, stickly dot sort of ball. And I was make pictures there, and then deeper in the building where the cows was standing, I was feel that there was a hole there, a sort of dimension hole, and also negative energy lines under the ground. that was make it.
I think of a ley
Yes.
line, but it's normally
Yes.
a positive thing, but in a negative
Yes,
way.
yes, in a negative
Gotcha.
way, yes. And that was
Okay.
also make a little bit, the negative energy, but there was also a hole to another dimension,
Like a
not on the
portal,
planet.
like a portal.
Yes, a sort of portal. And that was very heavy. I was see lots of, dark, almost monsters. That was what I was see. It was really terrible.
So this is
then
like
I
a
was-
gateway that's opened up.
Yes, and it was coming out the ground. It was the gateway was in the ground. It was a sort of coming out the ground. It was so negative. I was get so pressure on my head, and on the moment when I was asked God or the light of how you will call it to come, there was so many light. It was so beautiful. I was see that. So many light was coming to the animals there, and the animals was reacted immediately. They was making a lot of noise. They was feel immediately that the energy was changed. Also the farmer was feel itself also, and I was see that that it was coming lots of light beams, sort of light stripes going to that hole, and I was see two very big figures. Totally from light, sort of transparent but white light, very big, and I remember me that I was see them also in the past by the special fields.
Are these
Which-
beings,
then-
Robert, are they able to explain to you, what is soul sucking these souls, or, like the soul vampires? What is taking the souls or the energies of these cattle?
Yeah, there was the creatures that was doing this. It was what we call demons. They was not happy with themselves. They was so negative and pessimistic way. They was hating God. They was hating the light. They was hating themselves. They was hating life. They will destroy life, but that's not possible. But sometimes it's possible that they get in some houses. They get to some people or some animals, and it was very I was feeling lots of hate, and it was so negative. But again, the proof that this consciousness was get so many love also from the source, that there was again love themselves, and then love other people, that they don't need to fight, they don't need to prove, they don't need revenge. They can go to the light and they can get a better life.
And love.
And love, exactly, yes, exactly. And then it was over, and now it's gone, everything is going good by this farmers. I'm very happy, and there was coming also a very beautiful cross of light on the picture. And then I know many times got across from light on the picture, and then I know that the negativity is transformed in positive energy. Yeah.
So were you able to close these portholes, these gateways, or did they close themselves by, the overpowering emotion of love, or?
I have not closed them, but they have, through me, they have closed it. There's the other dimensions from light, is the afterlife, the land of God, or how you will call it, have through my mediumship have closed it. I must been there as a sort of instrument, but they do it. Yeah, I have a sort of code in me that they can do it through me. Dus I'm a sort of acupuncture needle there to canalize the energy. Yeah, that's what's going on there. Yeah.
And of this Dutch farming family, the Belgian farming family, are they able to, give testimony to what you've done and how you've helped them?
Yes, sure. Yes, his name is also standing in the report, and I'm sure that when we call him that he will tell this. It's not a secret. He have experienced this. Because it was for him also, a nice experience, and hopeful experience, and also he was having also a lot of body health problems. And that was also go away. He feels himself better now. There's the pressure from the negative energy I was holding him, and he was give it also a lots of intention. And when you give, everything that you give intention, it will grow. And he was give the negativity intention, and then there was see a possibility.
Let me ask you this: how does that work with human beings?
Yeah, human beings, they can be also in the afterlife sometimes be in bad spirits. When some people not believe in life after the death, and that's not so big problem, but when they think that they can do everything what they want, just hurt people's feelings, kill people, or rape people, then they come sometimes in some grey dark.
On another subject that we'd spoken about off air a good few months ago, and it was about, in England we have a case that's sort of ongoing called the Madeleine McCann case. It was a case of a missing British girl.
Yes,
that
the
was
girl
on holiday in
Portugal.
Exactly.
Portugal.
And you mentioned to me, Robert, some time ago that she was possibly being hidden in a graveyard with 2 bodies in the grave. And since then, the policeman in charge of the case in Portugal has actually resigned, and he's done that in order that he couldn't write a book. And in his book recently, he's now talking about this very scenario where he believes the body's either been buried or cremated with a cadaver. So I wondered if you can explain anything else that you might have understood about this case, Robert.
Oh, everybody, it seems that he is lost. Hold on, while we try to get Robbert back on. Let me do the plugins right now, everybody. Remember, yes, I don't see him back. There he is. Robbert, you back with us, buddy?
I'm back in this dimension.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe some demon must try to disconnect us.
Well, I was just saying that
you see the light is winning.
Yeah.
You're back now.
This was not rigged at all. This was not set up in any way, shape, or form. You may be affecting radio waves and light waves
possible.
and internet waves.
That's possible. Yes.
The point is, if you are able to knock off, I think when you're able to finally get every power under control, and you could do something on demand. We could say, Robbert, shut this down, shut this light down in front of us, or Robbert, make this person levitate. Robbert, tell me what's going to happen tomorrow or in a year. I think then your true potential and what you're capable of will really come out.
That's possible. I have done a couple of scientific proofs, and Nancy know all the details from it. They have done the number generator proof with me, and they say, the researchers will say, that it was every time good. I was get the line every time. The score was it was the highest from the world, they was saying. You can ask Nancy, that she knows that better. I will not claim self things, but they have told her that it was really this. That's also energy. That have some power to. They have also do an EEG by me on the moment that I'm in my normal human state. Then the brain waves are normal, but on the moment that I make contact with the other dimension, then it's going totally zero. Dus I'm brain dead then. That's not possible when you're sitting in a chair and you are brain dead. But they have really see it, and Nancy can tell that better. She know every detail from it. But it is I will so much that they will do this sort of research more and more. And then I can show that consciousness is not in the brain all the time. It's tuning in from out an external dimension in the computer that's called brain. This it's very interesting things scientifically showing up sometimes. Yes.
And confirm this for me, Robbert, if you might, real quick. see, we're using radio systems, which is very, very, very old. But, of course, you know, what about non-radio systems or whatever these satellite things that these aliens drew in this crop circle by bending things one way and the other that look like almost like an eye, but with satellite wings in some sense, you know. So it mentioned that we humans are carbon-based, but they are silicone-based. So would it be fair to say that either they're correct about the Greys being silicone-based, and that there are so many different other beings out there that are made of other material where oxygen is not required for them to live and breathe, etc., and their body tissue is not comprised of the same elements that we have on Earth? I'm talking about multiple, if you take it in mass.
Yes. I believe that lots of creatures, they are built out maybe total different material as us. But I have not the answer, or they are made of silicons, of I don't know. I can imagine. I believe that that also, yeah, they have you know, that we can now print out with a 3D printer hands, lungs, hearts maybe in the future. And I can imagine that they have technologic so many things, but also that nature have made other decisions, that they are built from our total different cells. I can believe, I believe, but I have not the answer. I don't know if they are made out silicones of. I have not the answer, so I must be honest about it.
And no, I'm glad you are. You know, we obviously
only, yes, only. I will be only
not
honest.
to mention, we also appreciate evidence, which Robbert Vandenbroek, our guest, can provide evidence of the weird things. So many photographs taken under test conditions of people appearing out of nowhere in taking a photograph.
Yes, absolutely. I believe lots of things are there. You cannot see them. Sometimes you can feel them, and when your vibration is very relaxed, when you go to sleep, sometimes you see it. Sometimes by accident. Sometimes it has really a meaning. But yeah, it's possible.
Do you actually see things, Robert, or is it only in a sort of intuition sort of way of thinking?
Yeah, that's a good question. On some moments I see really, then I can see really things. Then I see also apparitions, or I see energy forms, sort of plasma forms, or I see sometimes colors around people, and sometimes I see it with my eyes, and sometimes I see it with my mind, that I have a knowing that there is some entity around me and how he's look like, but I not see it then really as a 3D apparition. But it's not that I all the moment see things. When I'm sitting now here, I see only the things around me, and I can close it. But when I give readings, or when I give lectures, then I see many times the energy fields above the people, and sometimes also dead relatives and that sort of things. But when it has a meaning, when the higher world decides that I must give a message, then they do, yes. But it's not that I try to create something. I don't. I let it be. When it, when it has some reason, then it will come. Yeah.
Johnny, we are literally coming down to the last few minutes of the show. So before I ask some final things, Robert, Johnny, do you have anybody out there? I know there are a lot of people that have writing on chat rooms that I unfortunately am having trouble accessing. So I do promise you that Robert, would you mind coming back soon? Very soon, actually.
That's okay. Yes, I like that.
In the next week or two? Okay, good.
Yes,
because
that's okay.
all of you who have not been able to have your question answered by our guest, we will obviously bring him back very soon. Johnny, any final thought, buddy, or question?
Yeah, just for obviously those that don't really understand what Robert's saying here this evening, there is his webpage to look at, and he's a fascinating gentleman. I think he really is trying to do a good job and help people. There's a lot of negative people out there that I've sort of been following up and who really scorn Robbert and try and be negative and say horrible things about him. But I think his work is his own testimony. I think he has people that will tell you their stories, and they're on video, and you can really sort of get a feel of what people are really like with Robbert and what he's really like. As I say, there is a lot of negativity, but I think when you do the Lord's work, you come against many demons, you know. So just good luck to you, Robbert, and you know, again, look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you that for your trust and for your respect. Thank you.
Before I mention the one, and remind you guys, you should already know this from the past. Check out minds.com, minds.com. Check out minds.com, and there is a profile up there. Especially even Johnny Webb's got one. I saw his. I don't even know if I have one. Maybe my staff made one or not. But there is definitely one for the show. But for everybody out there, what is the name of the show again? This is Dr. J Radio Live. That is DRJ Radio Live, Live. To hear what Robbert has to say and all of our guests have to say, so you can get the messages and so you can get the truth. So now I want to thank you guys all. I want to thank my staff, drjradiolive.com. Of course, my guest, Mr. Robbert Broeke.
Thank you.
Don't forget, you, the audience, are the only reason we do the show, to bring you news that you don't hear other places. I wanted to turn it over to our guest, which sadly I didn't get my final questions in, but since you have physical proof of pictures of even Neil Armstrong, first man publicly acknowledged to be on the moon, appearing in a photo with you along with Edgar Casey, gray aliens. So Robbert has proof, everybody. Where can people find you, Robbert?
Yes, that's www.robertvanderbroek.com. That's my website, and there
is with 2 B's because he is calling from the Netherlands, not like Amsterdam or Rotterdam, but where exactly?
I live in Bossenhoofd. That's between Roosendaal and Breda. That's a little village.
Nice.
And I was
beautiful.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it's sweet, a little bit old-fashioned, but very sweet. Yes.
Oh, I love the old-fashioned part.
Yes, that's sweet. Yes.
Check out his website, robertvandenbroek.com. So everybody, check that out. For, I believe, what is it, 20,000 pictures you have?
Yes, many pictures. I don't know how many, but many, in the thousands. Yes.
Again, everybody, we want to thank you all for joining. I want to thank Johnny Webb for staying until 5 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and of course, Mr. Robbert Vandenbroek. Mr. Vandenbroek.
Thank you.
Staying awake till 6 a.m. Netherlands time zone, and join us tomorrow for UFOs over Arizona. With that being said, I am Dr. J. Thanks to my co-host, Johnny Webb, and people whose name I've not said on the show that help. I'll just throw 2 out there. Tom Schaefer, Lou Sheehan, and all the other people. Thank you all. You guys are the reasons we do this show. So tune in tomorrow for more information and watch our website because we only release one guest one day at a time. So watch closely for Robbert Vandenbroek. That way you can see if you have an on-air live experience such as the other one. Everybody, I'm Dr. J, signing off.